Hi folks, this is State Representative Rick Saccone. Gun control activists never rest in their misguided attempts to curb your Second Amendment rights. As such, freedom-loving citizens can ill afford to rest on their laurels when the Constitution is under assault. Lawful gun owners recently won a major victory in the General Assembly, and I want to tell you about it. But first, here's a little background. Because anti-Second Amendment forces have been rebuffed time after time in the courts and in the state legislature, they have turned to local municipalities to try to undermine your right to keep and bear arms. They've managed to pass a host of local ordinances across the Commonwealth that place numerous restrictions on the lawful possession of firearms. Now allow me to make this clear. Each and every one of these municipal ordinances restricting your freedoms is unconstitutional, illegal, and unenforceable. Since 1974, Pennsylvania law has expressly prohibited local governments from enacting any measure that would preempt state law. And state law, like the United States Constitution, affirms your God-given right to self-defense.
On the final passage of the bill, the yeas are 143, the nays 54. The majority required by the Constitution having voted in the affirmative, the bill passes finally, and the clerk will present the same to the Senate for concurrence.
Here enters House Bill 1243, which passed the Pennsylvania House overwhelmingly on October 6th. The bill not only reiterates the long-standing principle that local governments cannot supersede state law, it also would allow individual citizens to file suit against any municipality that unlawfully acts to restrict Second Amendment rights. This provision would give citizens another tool to hold city councils, county commissioners, and township supervisors accountable to the people they serve. Municipal officials know that they cannot enforce the anti-firearm ordinances they pass, so why do they bother? They do it to harass and harangue you. They want to establish false narratives at the local level that they hope will take root and confuse citizens about their rights. That's why passing House Bill 1243 is so important. If activists in local government know they will have to answer for this harassment in court, they likely would rescind their illegal ordinances. Even better, they probably wouldn't dare even try to enact them in the first place. Of late, there have been demonstrations of public officials picking and choosing which laws they will enforce and follow, as well as those they will ignore. The decision by public officials on any level to ignore both constitutional and statutory demands is at odds with American principles. Laws cannot enforce themselves, but citizens armed with the ability to take legal action themselves and the ability to be compensated for the infringement upon their rights would be empowered to make local governments respect state law and the Constitution. As of airtime, House Bill 1243 is headed to the Senate. There is little time left to enact the bill before the end of this year's session, so I'm hopeful that senators will move quickly to protect your rights. The vote in the House wasn't even close. It was 143 to 54, a blowout. So don't let anyone try and tell you that the state is trying to take away local control. Nonsense. Remember, it's been illegal for 40 years for local governments to attempt actions they've taken. It's time to give the power to the people to keep these municipalities in line and to claim their constitutionally protected liberties. The well-funded anti-gun lobby's solution to gun violence is to disarm law-abiding citizens by adding hurdles to their ability to keep and bear arms. Let me tell you, we are not the problem. Disarming responsible citizens merely makes them victims and targets. We saw that last week when the first ever beheading in America was prevented from further atrocities by a law-abiding citizen armed with a gun. Most Pennsylvanians know this, and I wanted to report to you on the major victory against the misguided gun grabbers' effort to infringe your constitutional right. Until next time, thank you, and God bless.